A Washington Post op-ed written by Larry Summers, the top economic advisor to Barack Obama during the financial crisis. Summers argues that the current stimulus proposal may be too big and could harm the economy as a result. Summers spoke to David Weston about this in a January 15th episode of Bloomberg Television's Wall Street Week. Take a listen.
We need to make sure we're supporting demand. We need to make sure that we're helping people who are in need. We need to take the kind of different perspective on fiscal policy that recent economic thinking about secular stagnation, about low rates, has driven us to. But that's not a reason for blank checks. And that's not a reason why any amount of fiscal policy organized in any way is appropriate. And I look at the fiscal stimulus under discussion, and with the $1.9 trillion, you're talking about something that relative to the GDP gap is 6 times as large as what we did in 2008. And if that's what we're going to do, we need to make sure we've got a contingency plan in case we get a perfect combination of good news. The $1.6 trillion in pent-up savings gets spent. This fiscal stimulus gets delivered. COVID gets behind us and people feel free to spend. And we have an economy that is literally on fire.
I've been reading a lot about this, and some people point out that Larry Summers is maybe a little bit defensive because in 2008, the Democrats and Obama's team were criticized for not thinking big enough and not being bold enough with their stimulus. And of course, he was spearheading that effort. So, maybe he's kind of
using some of those tactics, or maybe we'll see.
There's a lot to think over. Obviously, times have changed a lot since 2008, and we're all a lot more comfortable with being in a deficit or having the deficit get bigger.
The biggest stories the moment they happen from around the globe. Subscribe to Bloomberg Quick Take now for insight in an instant.